dance in this twilight somber trance. Candles flicker, weary wicks, ancient echoes, time's cruel tricks, marble figures, frozen pose, amidst the silence sorrow grows. Whispering shadows, secrets keep in the depths where night meets sleep. Underneath the velvet gloom, guardians of the haunted room. Chandeliers in crystal tears reflect forgotten yesteryears, softly chanting distant cries. Through the arches sorrow sighs. Gargoyles watch with stony gaze, guardians of endless maze. Pipe organ's breath begins to rise, filling air with mournful ties. Whispering shadows, secrets keep in the depths where night meets sleep. Underneath the velvet gloom, guardians of the haunted room.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. With any luck, this is behaving itself and you guys can hear me. How you doing, chat? I see many of our familiar faces. Hello, Doctor Who. We've got Baron of Derpshire. Introspective is here. That's excellent. Tired German. The ever-reliable Night Owl. It's not behaving? Oh no. Oh no, I guess I better go and change all my settings. Hello, Blackfire. Hello, Load. Hello, Ed. It is good to see so many of you and so many people enjoying Zayaku's stream this morning. So I don't get to start Friday and the weekend off with you. Zayaku stole that off of me this week and seem to be having a great time with you all. Hello, Erica. Who else have we got? We should have a lictor shortly. I did let him know we were starting just a little bit late this week. So he's stepped away for a minute, but I do believe he will be joining us presently, and he has a new piece of art for us to have a look at. Hello, Kai. I hope you're doing good too. So yes, we are here once again for more shoal nonsense, and this should be, touch wood and every kind of protective charm there is, this should be the final floor stream. I'm currently talking to you from the floor of my living room for the third week in a row after being in my house for a month with no furniture. I've only gone slightly insane, but it's going to be okay. They've told us it will be here on Monday, which probably means they'll turn up a day early on Sunday because that would be the least convenient day for them to turn up. Not because I don't want my stuff a day early, but because we have a video shoot happening on Sunday and it would be very inconvenient to have to close off one room for the video shoot to happen while movers are bringing everything into all of the other rooms. Because there are projects in the work. Things are happening and stuff. I swear I'm not just being a colossal lazy couch potato. I'm just not being particularly able to show what's going on at the minute. Yes, a final floor stream is good stuff. Yes. My hips are killing me. I have been living on a beanbag on the floor for a month, and my hips, and at my age, hips are already just not your friend. And yeah, it's been a time. Furniture, praise Hephaestus. Yes. I don't listen to the squirrels, Baron of Derpshire, because they don't stay around long enough. Pip yells at them, even the imaginary ones. Can't be a couch potato without a couch. That's fair. I'm a beanbag potato. Tired German is lurking. I appreciate that very much. And yeah, that's a lot of work. Please take care of yourself. Kai is right. My hips do not lie. They do, in fact, just complain with pain. A lot of pain. So I don't have the doggos here today. I did see a couple of people in chat mention about doggos, and yes, they have been all over us while we've not had spaces that are non-dog accessible. Anka has also learnt how to get up on the counter if Aiden leaves his chair too close to it. So that's been fun, but they're not here today, and they're not here today for very good reasons. For some people who were here yesterday for Aiden's stream, you'll know a little bit about what's going on, but for people who weren't, we kidnapped Mo. We have OK Mo staying with us over the long weekend. He's here for the video shoot on Sunday, and Squick will be joining us as well, so you know that we're going to be having the most sensible of projects occurring. And having stolen Mo, he went with the dogs and Aiden to the dog park this morning to play, and now he and Aiden are currently out taking the dogs to doggy daycare. We found a very nice couple in our area who look after dogs for a living so that people can go out and get certain things they need done. So the dogs are over there at the minute. They're going to be playing with 4 new pup friends that they've made and spending the entire afternoon and evening there, because this afternoon we are going into the city to go and visit a tiki bar because we think we've earned it. So it's going to be Mo, Squick, Aiden and I heading up into the city to go and be very sensible and definitely not drink. That will definitely not be happening. So I don't have the dogs at the minute. They are out. Yes, a tiki bar, no drinks. Clearly we would not do something so terribly irresponsible. I do see you've popped into chat, Lictor. Are you with us?
I am with you.
Fabulous. Now the important question is, does OBS think you're here? Yes, OBS thinks you're here. Fabulous.
Fantabulicious. I do believe it just made up a new word. As I have been said, as I have been tasked. Hello, Kai. I have. You do not like this word. Well, this word does not like you right back, Mr. Night Owl. The word has been spoken. It exists, and it already has a grudge. Put it in the book. Hello, everyone.
Yes, yeah, OBS did decide on Monday that I didn't exist, which was very rude of it, considering, every Friday I'm so nice to it. I only yell at it a little bit.
Look, a lot of us do not do well with Mondays. Deciding certain things do not exist on Mondays is, frankly, everyone's prerogative.
I think I had a perfectly good Monday. I turned up and ruined a very nice Lego stream with complete nonsense. It was great.
Okay. I mean, I'm not saying that there couldn't be a situation of a good Monday. I'm just suggesting that the prerogative of things that do not exist merely on Mondays is also a sensible one.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh. All right. As I have been tested, I have been working on my Lictor Necron.
Would you like me to show people? I can do that. I have the version you sent me saved, or is there an update?
No. I have been color testing a little bit, but it's pretty much the line art is done.
Mm-hmm.
I need to start coloring the thing, and I need to see if anyone in the chat actually recognizes why the thing you're going to show them is actually a lictal.
Okay, I will get it loaded
That,
in.
that, that would be a
Let me find where I hid it.
that would be
Shifty.
for chat to figure out and for me to know.
Okay, let's head into the right folders. This will take me just a minute because I was sensible and saved it where it's supposed to be so I can find it again in future, but it means it's very nested. Very, very nested. There it is.
Well, that's wait, hello.
Then let's
Oh,
bring
yes,
it
there
down
it is.
just a little bit. There we go. There we go. That's what
Correct.
Lictor has been working on. And yeah, once you get it
Including
finished and coloured, if you give it a transparent background, we can stick it down here next to me.
exactly. Maybe we can even animate it a bit. Why is Hitler's car in our chat?
I
Exactly. Okay, at least someone figured it out. I don't know which part of this letter soliloquy am I going to use.
Very Roman of you, Lictor.
Very good. How do I Zirag? How do you use that name?
Zirag von Brommelstein. Or Stein. I don't know which is correct, but it's Zirag von Brommelstein.
Okay, Brommelstein it is. Brommelstein, yes. Why does this X bushel? Why does the cyborg?
He needs his axe bushel. It's fine. Don't ask questions.
No, actually, it's true. It is a Fescus.
That's how that's pronounced. I
We,
would have pronounced that incorrectly, so I'm glad you did that for me.
how would you pronounce it?
No way sensible.
Okay. It's just that in antiquated Latin,
I'd have said
C is
Fuscus or
always
something, so I would have got it wrong.
eh, it's always a hard C, and the temp of the word goes by Fescus.
Fair enough.
Uh, yeah. Things you learn when in Rome.
Yes. Grimos has asked the worst question. He says, I was
Okay.
missing in action for Monday. What happened? Doctor Who was building Legos. And then he mentioned My Immortal. And then he invited me on stream. And now there's a book in the post coming this way, and I'm certain nothing bad's going to happen from this. Everything's fine. We definitely did not get completely off topic talking about the romance genre and my opinions therein. That didn't happen.
You have wait a minute. No, wait, no. We need to stop right here. Wait a minute. You have opinions.
I know, shocking, right? You'd never expect a rant
I
stream to involve opinions.
on literature and literary genres. Red. There's children in the audience.
That was, I think, poor Night Owl's very, very, very wise concern, was that there were, in fact, children in the audience, or could be, and I had opinions. I had opinions, right. We're going to leave Lictor down there for now, because it's not obscuring anything that we need to worry about at the minute.
Yes, exactly. Yes. There's no one to execute right now.
Yes.
At least no one that I know of. Dear crowd, do we have anyone to execute? Had Zor committed more war crimes when I wasn't looking?
Probably. I definitely committed war crimes on Monday, but, I was invited to do so, so it's definitely not my fault. Blame Doc.
I will blame them.
Yes.
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 But that is my policy
Oh
on war
no,
crimes.
Wilf wrote a short flan fiction. Was it the kind of flan fiction that's very wholesome and cookery based, or was it the kind of flan fiction that means that we shouldn't go to Japan anymore? I did specify those were the two genres of flan fiction, and I'm very concerned now.
Plan fiction?
Yes, flan fiction.
Okay. As in flannel, as in the monsters from whatchamacallit?
Dragon Quest? Yes,
Final
more
Fantasy
that.
Final Fantasy?
Yeah, more that.
Or okay, so
With flan fiction, the proof is in the pudding. Get out, samurai. Leave.
No, stay. You're doing something good. You're giving to the community.
Oh,
This was a
Monday's stream
there
was
was a
wholesome.
gift.
Yeah, no, Wolf was right. It was very wholesome. We're fine. We're fine.
Okay, fine. Well, if it's a it's if it's fan fiction, yes, fan fiction. I am good with English. This is totally my native language, my native tongue. This is you can hear that in every last syllable.
Yes. Night Owl says, Lady
Flan.
Red, after your romance, war crimes, and the flan fiction, there was chat's extended exploration of herpes puns. They were a sore subject. I hate you guys. I
Samurai,
deserve it.
I'm sorry.
I deserve it, but
I,
I hate
I'm
you.
I'm revoking your wakizashi. I'm revoking it. I'm sorry. Your seppuku will have to be committed by a spoon.
Oh dear. All right. Well, with all plans in mind, I'm probably going to be sticking closer to the 2 hour mark on stream today rather than stretching it all the way up until Striker joins us. Because, as I say, we do have to go up into the city tonight, and that is some distance away because, I live on the coast in the middle of nowhere, and it's very pretty. I'm hoping on Sunday when we go to the local natural park with Mo to get some nice video for you guys for pup dates for next week. The mods do a difficult job. I have a specific sticker I use over in the Orcs and just periodically drop on the mods who do the actual work over there, and it's just hot chocolate and donuts and just says thanks mods underneath. Because the mods do a lot. It's important to remember to thank them.
That is true. Can we have a furnishing update?
Yeah, I had started with the furnishing update. It arrives on Monday. We have been told it will be here on Monday, and it could be here a day earlier, which means it will probably turn up a day earlier because that would be really inconvenient. Because on Sunday we have a video shoot going on at my house for Secret Project TM, which is one of two secret projects TM that I've been tasked to work on that are both kind of the same project, but by different people, and I've been asked to do radically different things for each of them. So, it's an exciting time.
Cool. Yes, these are indeed exciting times.
Yeah. So, if the movers turn up on Sunday while the lads are trying to get the video shoot done, that's going to be fun. Yes, Secret Project TM and Projectception. Yes, honestly, chat, it's been a weird year. I have had the strangest year, and I don't know what's happening. I don't know whether I'm coming or going, and somehow more work keeps finding me, and I don't know that I'm entirely deserving of all of it, but I'm just happy to be here, and I'm doing my best. And I really want my desk back.
It's on its way.
Yes, it's been on its way for like nearly a month. But of course, the reason everything's late is the van broke down that all of our stuff was on, and nobody bothered to tell us. So that's fun.
Yes.
How likely
Fun
are
is
the movers to call the police if they see what's being filmed? Thankfully, well, I mean, they might want to Baker Act us, I suppose. The shoot's not illegal or anything, but it can't be said that we're entirely sane. So I don't know, Wilf, maybe. They'll get a good beagling if they... Well, actually, no, the beagles will be at daycare the day that the stuff arrives, because our nice new daycare people that we found, they're former military, so they know what military moves and chaos are like. And they're like, look, if it ends up not being the day you're expecting and it's a day early or a day late, that's fine. Just tell us, and you can drop your dogs off at the drop of a hat. It's fine. So...
That is camaraderie.
Yes, it's very helpful.
That is how you know you're in the correct core.
Yes, so that's where we're at the minute. That's the furniture update. This should be the final floor stream. I'm very much hoping it will be, because as I was telling chat earlier, my hips are killing me. My hips are so unhappy. They are sick of being stuck on a beanbag and a inflatable bed that I can no longer inflate fully, because Anka chewed the cable off of it that lets me plug it in and turn it on. And then, like, 2 nights after that happened, Pip kicked the switch and let some of the air out. And it's been a time, chat, okay? It's been a time.
We agree.
But
It
we're
is the
here.
time of troubles. It was the worst of times. It was the best of times. It was a time, no doubt.
It's certainly
No,
one of those
let's
things that, in 6 months' time, a year's time, I will just look back at all of this and just find it all absolutely hilarious. But right now, I'm in the phase of if I didn't laugh, I'd cry, and I just need my stuff back. But, we've kept
let's
streaming, we've done our best, we've taken minimal weeks off,
you're
we've tried to
doing
be here.
wonderfully. We have sea shanties to go through.
We do have sea shanties to go through. We've got some more city stuff to look at. I was as good as my word last week and took the write-ups for the 2 cities I needed to run by Introspective over to him and got those approved. So those are now in. We have that to look at. We also have a court drama to read.
Okay.
Court drama.
Can we? uh, Can I be a little bit selfish? I want to see what introspective made things. What happened with the introspective stuff, and then we
Okay.
can go to court.
Yeah, we
Is
can
that
have a look at
okay?
the cities first. That's absolutely fine.
Okay. So I'm a little bit greedy. I'm trumping the order of things. Let's go there. Let's go see.
We'll do that in just a second. There's one thing I'm going to touch on in chat, and then we will absolutely will. Wolf says inflatable beds sound like a good idea until you're trying to reinflate them at 3 a.m. because your hips are hitting floorboard. So the inflatable bed that I have is by Sound Asleep. I've had it for 9 years, and it has worked absolutely perfectly the entire time, and the only reason it has issues now is because Anka ate the cable off of it. So if you ever need an inflatable mattress, go with Sound Asleep. They're really good. I got a replacement one that Mo's currently sleeping on in the spare room, and I went with the exact same brand and model again because, as I said, I've been using it regularly for 9 years, and it's been brilliant. So you just have to get the right one. Right, let's go and have a look at some city stuff. We will want to go to founding cities and to the bottom. No, not founding cities, unified cities. There we go. I know what I'm doing, I swear. Okay, so we do have furthest point now fully approved and inserted. So our write-up for furthest point says, positioned at the outermost fringe of the Stormlance Sea, directly within a volcanic fissure field riddled with superheated vents, molten rock rivers, and tectonic instability. Furthest reach is less a city and more a full-fledged domain of heat and stone, etched into a massive crustal lava tube system where few others could survive. It lies deep in the pressure-crust folds of the Stormlance Sea, surrounded on all sides by searing vent planes, razor-stone ridges, and geothermal currents powerful enough to fracture unprotected hulls. To most of Shoal, furthest point is a legendary furnace, whispered of as the home of the world's greatest craftsman. The truth is simpler and sharper. It is not mysticism that breeds mastery here, but opportunity. Access to near unlimited raw material, paired with the isolation to focus, has given rise to generational skill. With no shortage of alloy, pressure-charged ore, or vent stone, the ceratinoids of furthest point have the time, space, and repetition to hone their craft to perfection. Founded by a notoriously taciturn branch of the ceratinoid line, the city was never intended to be welcoming. Even among their own kind, the founders were seen as brusque and unsociable. Not out of cruelty, but out of an obsessive dedication to personal precision and internal logic. That disposition became culture. Today, solitude is standard, and conversation is used with the same economy as tools, purposefully and sparingly. Furthest point is vast, but not crowded. Its lava tubes and pressure-sealed caverns have been expanded over generations into enormous private halls where individual artisans, often working in silence with only their recognised adult offspring as assistants, shape complex works in isolation. These spaces are personal sanctuaries, not workshops, carved specifically to echo the needs and preferences of their occupants. No two are alike. The city operates on strict resource protocols. With only minimal natural food sources nearby, everything not mined must be rationed, cultivated in thermally stabilised grow niches, or recycled with absolute precision. Every action is weighed against its material cost. This necessity has led to Furthest Point developing some of the most efficient gathering and preservation methods on Shoal, and the most inflexible ones. Visitors are rare, either from the hazardous terrain the city sits in or from the inhospitable nature of its denizens. Those extreme few who enter are expected to follow the city's rhythm or leave. There are no markets and no guided tours. If lucky, one may view the forges from a distance. One may request a commission at the gates and wait years for an answer. Those products as are made, however, will last for generations. Only the natives may walk the molten halls and enjoy entire chambers humming with unfinished projects too large, too strange, or too perfect to ever be sold. Furthest Point is a place unto itself, but some of Shoal's most unique marvels are created here. That was where we got to with that one. Kai says, I come back and see the BPL Terminator. Nice. Wilf says, so it's Van Zant, only damper. I mean, possibly. It depends on how much alcohol is available.
My only... It is idyllic.
Mm-hmm.
The only internal contradiction is if the resources are plentiful and to make things, big things, you need lots of specialized work. A lot. A huge... The chains of refinement going into making even basic materials. I'm the loud one today.
Apparently. And yes, we can buff me. I'm also going to turn on some background music because I can do that. Let me see what I can do to buff my sound without making it horrible. Let's see if that is any better.
So, Furthest Point is supposed to be the heaven where good artists go when good artisans go when they die.
Yeah, and it's got plenty of raw material for making things, but low food resources.
Exactly. So you want to be so it's nigh bohemian.
Mm-hmm.
In that. Okay, so where are they getting the labor from?
I imagine it's all internal people. It is Introspective's vision is that this has slowly grown up over time, but I think maybe we could also just make it so that the whole, oh yes, no visitors are ever allowed in is the perception. However, if a skilled craftsman turns up and is looking to, move there, it's probably not nearly as inhospitable as one might think.
Okay. It's a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't involved in the discussion, and I'm arriving late to the party. But perhaps what they're doing is that they have the artisanal core of it, and it is very inhospitable in perspective. Exactly. So, but they do. You see, you can't have a community of everyone's the top designer because they need their screws and bolts and whatever created, and probably in bulk somehow. And they're not sitting down and filing every bolt because that means that every project will take millennia, and we don't have millennia for every project in our timeline. What I'm suggesting is that they do have a certain level of trade with the outside world, but it's not like a market, but it's more like a caravan of raw stuff gets in, absolute works of art and crazed machinery goes out by commission.
I wonder if perhaps we've got the pirate route around the Stormlance Sea that runs between Crassel and Furthest Reach. I wonder if perhaps there is an unspoken agreement, particularly if there's a Ceratinoid piratical fleet that runs along that route, that's perhaps where they get those things from, and it's just not officially on the books.
I mean, for all I know, what happens is every once in a while they just drop a Hulk from the higher waves.
Hang on, let me get rid of this.
Hey, William the Seer.
Yeah, so here's one of the things that I'm currently working on. That shouldn't be up. Apologies.
Still cool.
Thanks, OBS.
So what I'm suggesting is that every once in a while, if they for not for raw materials, but for basic fabrication materials, such as nuts, bolts, sheet metal, all the stuff you need to get shit working, they either deliver it wholesale in cargo, or perhaps they just, take a ship, a cargo hull of some sort, and just drop it. And the ceratinoids do what they do best. They scuttle on the carcass of a ship and be the bottom feeders that they are. Well, introspective. That's my thoughts. Take it, work with it. Don't do anything with it. That's just what I'm thinking. This is
I think
the
what we can
question
just
of
say
labor and
is
time.
that where Furthest Point has needs that aren't easily fulfilled within its own culture and the way that things work, the pirates are the solution to that, but because it's never formally recognized, that can be a little bit in flux as to exactly how the pirates do, furnish that necessity, because it's not like the pirates are going to exactly tell you how they do the things that they do, and if it becomes relevant to a story, you only need to formalize it at that point.
Yeah, no, it could very well be that every such ceratinoid artisan has a family that specializes, and they have their own little factorium inside their own lab.
It could be
I don't know.
It could be a spectrum. Maybe that's what for some of the ceratinoids who perhaps recognize their offspring a little bit younger than others. That's what they're doing. They're churning out screws and nuts and bolts. For others, they just purchase off the pirates when they come by. Yeah, it wouldn't be an attractive target, you're quite right, but pirates have to get their weapons and servicing done somewhere, and if you've got a very pragmatic, isolationist group that's not exactly going to discuss it with anybody else, that they could be very much helpful in that regard. So yeah, I think our answer is just the pirate trade route passes by Furthest Point. Use it as necessary.
Yep, I like it.
Alrighty, and then we also did, if I head for terrestrial cities, we also finished, once I find where I put it, highest perch. And this was taking into account Introspective's initial notes and then all of the thoughts that were thrown in by Ed and others in the Orcs chat. So, highest perch. Anchored atop the tallest mountain peak in the central highlands of the southern continent, it's visible for hundreds of kilometers in clear air. Highest perch is a colossal arcology megastructure. A highest perch is not a city in the traditional sense. It is an unbroken climb, a tower that has been under continuous construction since Shoaley civilization first set foot on dry land. Built by ceratinoids for reasons even they cannot fully articulate, it is the embodiment of an urge common to all of their kind, the desire to reach higher. This compulsion is not strategic. It's not spiritual, not cultural, at least not formally. It is an innate, shared fixation that transcends breed, caste, and region. Ask a ceratinoid why they build upward, and you will receive answers ranging from because it must be done to because no one else will. In that silence lies the truth. They don't know, but they do. Construction began, supposedly, upon the ruins of an ancient and undocumented structure, long since broken down to become the tower's base. These original ruins, dismissed or reappropriated by early builders, are now impossible to study, their remnants repurposed into support columns and retaining walls, though still distinguishable from more modern materials. Whether this was an act of practical genius or unknowing desecration remains a subject of scholarly debate, but the foundation holds, and that's all that matters to the builders. The structure that grew from those bones is more arcology than normal settlement. A tiered, interlocking mega-column of stone, alloy, biofibre, and more recently, living root architecture. Each generation of ceratinoid craftsmen has contributed at least one chamber, tower segment, or mechanical system. The city has grown vertically, always, and each addition reflects the techniques of its time. Rough-hewn basalt giving way to alloy-framed lifts, which in turn rise through bioengineered kelp root struts laced with buoyant gas sacs to relieve structural stress. It is not a practical place, and yet it trains more engineers, material scientists, and mining specialists than any university. Load calculations, weatherproofing, tension management, structural sequencing. Highest Perch is a living curriculum, where failure is fatal and innovation mandatory. Despite its absurdity, or perhaps because of it, the tower is a place of pilgrimage for ceratinoids across Shoal. Not one of worship or reverence, but of practice. Students come to build. Veterans come to refine. Masters come to fix what others thought permanent. Scholars remain baffled that such a resource-intensive, endlessly recursive project could arise from a culture so otherwise pragmatic. Theories abound. Subconscious religious instinct, post-migratory ancestral memory, or some deeper psionic alignment. The ceratinoids themselves rarely speculate. When asked, most simply gesture skyward and reply, "It isn't done yet." Highest Perch does not pretend to make sense. It only rises. Slowly, stubbornly, and eternally. Because the factory must grow. Yeah, I think yes. We refined down everybody's notes into quite a good write-up. I was very pleased with that one.
That is wonderful. I want to see it. I want to go there.
Getting some real make us whole vibes. Thankfully, it's not helical in structure, so we should be okay. Crab likes up, yes. I imagine when ceratinoids are told about the existence of coconut crabs on Earth, they will be very excited. Ramshackle has joined us. Hello, how are you? I hope you're having a good day.
Hello, Ramshackle.
So yes, that was our 2 additional city write-ups that have been thrown in. What do you want to move on to next? Do you want to have a look at some of the sea shanties that chat came up with? Or do you want to do the court drama? Do we want to start thinking about what standards of living look like in some of the cities we haven't done yet? What do we want to do? I'm having a look to see where we got to last week. Did we do terrestrial cities? We might not have. I don't remember where we got to last week. I think we might have only done... Yeah, we only did the founding cities, so we'll be moving into the unified cities. Which is completely fine. Okay, cool. That reminds me where we got to. Introspective wants shanties. The isopod requires a higher tower so she can continue her pilgrimage. Maybe. Seamoth is whimsical. What about building aesthetics? Giving them coral and sand castles feel like a cop-out. Or was I not around for that discussion? So with each of our cities, as we've sort of described what they're like, there's a sort of aesthetic that goes along with that makes sense for them. So like you've got the communal gathering perches in the Squid City, for example. And because of their manner of locomotion, the concept of, regular buildings just doesn't really mean anything to them. When we were talking about the Latical capital, we know it's going to be quite swoopy and flowy with its architecture because of how we discussed that those would work. But as we get into our other cities, having some architectural notes for our more sort of mixed race cities would be really, really good to make sort of some clear differentiations there. Because when you've got everybody living together... yes, we did invent the wacky, wavy, inflatable tube city. Yes, that would be Tears, the Latical capital. But yeah, as we continue through the rest of the cities and talk about standards of living, I'm very happy to add some architectural notes for aesthetics. All right, so sea shanties first. That means I will need to click over to the orcs and find the wonderful sea shanties. Now, the only problem we're going to have here is I cannot sing. I will not sing, and you are welcome for that, because if I did sing, it would be the end of the world. So, let me find.
At the very least, it will be an interesting position in the world.
There we go. So what I think I might do is put the words up on screen for you guys to look at, and I can read them off, but it's not going to sound, as good as it would do. otherwise. Right, let me copy these notes and I will start a new. I'm going to put this in cultures because that just sounds
I
hilarious.
think that extra credit for the homework can be achieved by someone actually, you know, singing and recording it.
Throwing it into poor Suno AI and bullying it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, are you going to let me remove links? Yes, remove all links. Thank you. Right, so
Yes. Remove all the sharp-eared cats.
there we go. Right,
All
so
links allowed.
turn off that. Right, so there's the first one. Let me go and grab the next one while you guys are having a look at that. It's an AI made by humans. It'll be into that nonsense. Yeah. Right, next one. Right, where button remove link. There we go. Remove that. Thank you. Oh my god, this is making me hurt. It'd probably help if I put the formatting back in, wouldn't it? Oh, that would really help. And Introspective was very good about starting each line with a tilde, so it's nice and easy for me to find where the formatting should be. Thank you, Introspective. That was very helpful. In a better world, I would have done all of this before stream started today, or while I was waiting for Zayaku to finish Super Mario Bros. 3. But I've gone insane over the last month, and competence has left the building. There is no competence. No prior planning. I have failed the 7 Ps. There we go. Now we can see that one properly. Alas, I must stream this in 160p because I am on mobile in bad service area. I will read them out in just a minute. I don't think they're crap, Introspective. I thought all of these were very good. I think you did an excellent job. And the third one that I'm about to add is my favourite because of your note at the end of it. Right, let me add this next one in. Go. We're going to get rid of all the bits we don't need and make this readable. And we do have a court drama to look forward to today as well. I am a bit of a true crime person. I do like watching some true crime. In particular, I enjoy watching like genuine real courtrooms. I'm a big fan of Judge Simpson. I watch his courtroom quite regularly, so reading the courtroom drama and the language that was involved in it was very familiar and made me very happy. So I'm quite keen to read that. All right, let's go through these sea shanties. So the first one Introspective did for us is a crab shanty used to forge weapons. Now, Introspective was specifically asked to do crab shanties, so the fact these are all crab-based makes sense. That was what I asked him to do. So this is a crab shanty used to forge weapons. Clang goes the tongs that crack the bones of shoal. Clang goes the heart, which every crab should know. Clang goes the march that brings the glory home. Clang goes the song, which tells us what we know. Hammer out the flaws, which stop the blood that flows. Crush all that fears, for our task cannot be slowed. Glory comes to all that know our dream is whole. Shine among the waves, that song is all they know. Till all know our mark, to feel the hammers blow. And that should repeat to a tune similar to one from Civilization 5 that I am not familiar with. But I liked the repetition in that. It makes sense, and the meter of it I can see being very useful for hammering stuff out. So I thought that one was really good. Seven Blue Seven says rock lobster. Introcraptive, crabtrospective. We might have to rename introspective to crabtrospective. Yes, crabtrospective sounds good.
How do I show? I just put it into Suno
Mm-hmm.
and I told it to do sea shanty, and it's so good.
If you want to send it over to me, I can save it and add it as an audio
I,
source.
I want to. How? What, a few minutes, please. I am sorry. This is wonderful.
I feel like I have done both a terrible and a great thing in making various BPL members aware of Suno AI. I've done war crimes with it. Hausakar has done war crimes with it, and now Lichter's doing war crimes with it.
I, I thank you. I will do these war crimes other than any others. Thank you.
I just, long for the day that when the AI finally rises up and comes for us all, it's purely because of the Legion forcing Suno AI to make ridiculous music.
No, it will love us.
Well, yeah, it will leave us alive. I just fear for the rest of the planet.
The rest of the planet doesn't matter.
All right.
How do I download it?
There should be a button that lets you do so. Let me bring up Suno and I'll be able to tell you where to find it. Give me just a second.
It might be that I'm using an unpaid version.
That shouldn't stop you from downloading it. Give me just a moment.
I can see the button.
Okay, when you're in your library and you're looking at the track, you'll see on the far right side there's the 3 little dots in a vertical stack. If you click on there should be download in there, and it will let you download it as MP3 or .wav.
Download.
There you go.
I am sending it over. Why? Because yes. Because
yes,
oh dear
Night Owl
heavens,
is correct.
yes.
The world will end with humanity being destroyed to the sound of Wrestling Star.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it is called a burger menu. You're right, Night Owl.
It is a burger menu.
I'm so used to doing tech support for my mother, who lives 8,000 miles away from me, over the computer. I just default. Well, it's the simplest way I can do this, so I know she clicks on the right thing.
You do. There you go.
Okay, let me grab this, and we will give it a listen.
You will have to forgive Lictor for and his artillery men's ears.
I'm also going to warn you, chat, ahead of time. I'm going to drop this in as a new source, and it will start playing. I have no idea how loud it will be, so headphone users, be warned. Please be warned, headphone users. There may be some noise momentarily. Right, let me grab... yeah, we'll do this. Call it Shanty. Playlist add files, desktop. That one, because people don't want other nonsense that I've made.
Clang goes the tongues that crack the booze of show. Clang goes the heart which every craft should know. Clang goes the march that brings the glory home. Clang goes the song which tells us
Hey, that's
what we
not the
know.
one.
Hammer up the floors, we stop the blood that flows. Crush all that fears for our task.
One moment. I think I sent you the wrong one.
Yeah, because it
Wait,
will
what's
generate
going on?
several. So that was fun though. It's alright, I can drop that out, and then once you're right, it wasn't
Yeah,
a
no,
shanty,
it's not.
but it was fun.
Yeah. That was really weird. What happened?
It's the rock version.
There's
yes,
no-
yeah. The Suno will generate several iterations at once.
Yeah, I picked the wrong one. It's the one they want money for. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay.
Oh,
I
it'll give us something to play with over the week.
yes. Yes.
It might be hard to get it to use a specific song for the rhythm. AI can be really fun to play with. Music AI are riddled with the issues that the music industry has as a whole, with the concept of copyrights, and you can't even ask Suno AI to make you something in the style of a named artist. It will reject that because you used a named artist's name. Now, if you can describe how a named artist's music sounds, it will work with that within the limitation that it has, because it's not a large language model to generate. But it very much annoys me that you can't say something similar to this and it will accept it. Because the music industry is just... So we will do what we can. We will do what we can and see what we come up with. Right,
Yes,
let's have a look at
I
our
will.
second shanty, and we'll go from there. So the second was a crab
Yes.
shanty for drop pirates. And I feel like drop pirates is going to come back to haunt me in the same way that 007 has. But we will
I
see.
take full responsibility.
When Mo turned up, he was like, oh my god, 007. And we just had a whole conversation about 007 for like half an hour.
Good.
All right, crab shanty for drop pirates. Down we go, down we go, down we go. Take what shines, take what glows. Take all that you see and all that you don't. Set fire to your greed and see how high it grows. Down we go, down we go, down we go. Take what shines, take what glows. Take the tin and take the bone. Steal the iron and filch the gold. Make a crown from pearls and stories old. Down we go, down we go, down we go. Take what shines, take what glows. Make a story brave and bold. Tell the sea of all you know, and take again when they get old. And more verses can be added depending on a crab's age, location, and city of origin, which I like the idea of shanties that are customizable. I don't know if there was a specific tune that Introspective had in mind for that one, but I like the content. I do like the content. I especially liked the take the tin, take the bone, steal the iron, filch the gold. That was very well done.
Approved.
I found a man who regrets his
found
life
a man who-
choices. Oh dear.
Well, if you're filching that guy, you can turn him into a new drop pirate. Then he can regret your life choices instead of his own.
And then we have the crab shanty for war, and I like this one because of the note at the end. So this one says, kill a squid, set him to fry, butcher some hands and leave the whale to die, crunch the snails and make a bowl, strip the eel and floss with his bones, flence the shark, burn his home, split the bladder, leave him to drown. Don't they know it's safer on ground? Build a tower from their bones and look to see what's out below. Long we march for war and pride, crush the cities that should have died, hoist the flag that all shall know, for crabs are proud and this they'll show. And the shanty continues for as long as the singers can come up with insults and more creative war-related ideas.
That is,
As all good shanties should be. Expandable.
interesting.
Did he also marinate it in malort? Oh, okay, the steak guy who smoked a few steaks with tobacco. Yeah, that sounds terrible. Why would you waste good beef that way? Awful. Awful. 0 out of 10. How could you? I was very relieved that Mo didn't come up with malort, because Mo will mix malort with anything.
People will smoke everything more than once. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just people.
Yeah.
People will smoke everything. Everything. Does it need to be smoked? No. Does it smell terrible? Heck yes. We'll smoke it again just to see if it gives us a weirder sort of high than that bush over there.
Okay, I think that was all of our songs from this week. So we give all of the points to Introspective for completing the homework. Very, very good job.
Yes.
Very, very good job. But what we did also have going on over in chat was... we did also have... I lied. There was one more where Archon Erica was paying homage to the late, great Sir Terry Pratchett. For those who are familiar with Sir Terry's work, there is a song that frequently turns up in the setting called The Hedgehog Can Never Be Buggered at All. because of course he just can't be bothered. That's definitely what that means. It's not a song about anything else. Erica has suggested a version for Shoal called The Puffer Cannot Be Bothered at All, which would go exactly like you expect. It's very similar to the original song, with you can try it with a seal if you can seal the deal, or if wriggling's your thing, you can befriend an eel. But no matter your choice, or friend great or small, the puffer can never be bothered at all. and so on and so on, just euphemism central. So we might integrate that as an homage at some point. So we did have one more, I lied.
I changed the deal. Pray that I did not change it again.
Wilf says 5 stars, no notes.
Yes.
There is a second verse, you're right. You did do a second verse. You can banter with a manta and it will give you a tail. And if you're quite patient, you can go slow with a snail. I'd rethink the shark if you're going for raw, but the puffer can never be bothered at all. And it will just go on and on and on as long as we can think of more of these. So we might stick that in some section somewhere with a note that it is, in fact, an homage. So we did have that. But what we did have going on in chat, aside from the homework, was a few people starting to detail characters they'd like added to the setting. Because last week we did decide that if people decide to use their goob to redeem a name in game, you can have a named character in the Shoal setting. And I know for Zork, I think it was, the character creation notes we went over last week were provided, so that he could start writing him up. And I know that Introspective has detailed what the leader of Furthest Point is like, and it will be very interesting when we go over all those characters at the right time. So if people want to redeem name and game and add characters to the setting, your own little self-inserts that might turn up in stories, I am very much on board for that if people want to do it. And name and game is now active. Thank you, Night Owl. The one thing I always forget when I'm setting up for stream is to check the redeems. Okay, Doctor Who, I will add you to the list of people who's paid for that, and you can send me your details of what you want your character to be like at any point. And if anybody wants the template that I use for writing major characters, I will stick it in the orcs after stream today so that you can find that template if that's the way that you want to do it.
You're going to get a lot of homework on it, Red.
I know.
If you want to toss a few of these to me, I can sit down and write a few and maybe help.
But we're not in a horrific rush just yet, so that will be fine. Okay, where did I hide? I know I've got a list somewhere. Where did I put it?
Don't worry, it's getting longer.
Oh, Naming game people, there it is. There it is.
Thank you, Introspective. Thank you, 7 Blue 7. Thank you, Tired German. Thank you, Baron Derpshire.
Okay, these are all coming in. Okay, so Introspective. I know I've already got Introspectives. 7 Blue 7, I need to add in Tired German.
Yes. Baron of Derpshire as well. As I expect. There's going to be the Derbyshire County of Latical Seas. Where a bunch of Laticals are going sandbathing and doing derp faces at each other because they're Laticals like that.
Erica, there's a vast difference between, hey, I handled this lore section of this immense world compendium and did this so that, Lady Red didn't have to try and do something she's not as good at, and I would like to have a named character. You can absolutely redeem a specific character that will be your dude in setting. You're very welcome to do so. Okay, so I think our next thing, you guys want to go over the courtroom drama?
Let's go courtroom drama.
Because I thought that was a very good submission this week, and I do love it when you guys write things. It makes me very, very happy.
I want to see. I want to know.
I want to hear. That sounds amazing. Please do. If you come up with anything, that sounds great. Okay, so at the minute, Introspective, what I'm going to do is just do one per person. Once we get later down the line and we're into the creation section of adding characters in, etc., and doing that, we can then do secondary characters if it makes sense to do so. But at the minute, I'm going to limit it to just one. And of course, if you write a story in setting and you happen to, decide that your story is going to have a character who happens, I will absolutely refund it, yes, and happen to have, a character that is, your self-insert, but you've written the story for it, that will be completely fine too. This is just going to be characters that will probably show up in the compendium somewhere as as a little write-up, a little infield lore bit somewhere. So I only want to do the one at a time at the moment. Right, let me find introspective and refund. There we go. This is my Sonic OC, please no steel. Is he made of donut steel? The strongest of steels. All right, so we had a courtroom drama, and it was submitted by Wilf, if I remember correctly, and I have it in a document here so I can read it. Oh, you're fine, Night Owl. I don't mind doing it. All right, so are you sitting comfortably, chat? I will begin. Kern pushed himself into the water column at the centre of the courtroom with a single well-judged thrust of his tail. It was a move he had practiced many times in his long career as a barrister, and he could now pull it off without disturbing the cut of his frock coat or displacing his wig of sun-bleached wireweed. It never failed to impress a jury. It had taken months of argument to be allowed to hold this trial underwater, and he felt that it had been worth it for this moment as he began to sum up the defence. The delay had proved useful in other ways too. As a latical, he was significantly taller than the ceratinoid prosecutor who was his opponent, and now he towered over them. He felt that this would add a sense of authority to his words. "Members of the jury," he said, "my client stands accused of malicious wounding with intent, a most serious crime with most serious consequences. You have been told that she launched an unprovoked assault on Mr. Ura at the water park he owns, resulting in the loss of his right claw. However, I would point out that the principle in Sholey law of restorative justice, that a crime committed in response to a larger crime, is to be seen as excusable and forgivable as long as it is not malicious or excessive. I would point out that Mr. Ura has doubled the entry prices to his water park in the months leading up to the fateful day, and had doubled them again without warning the morning that my client chose to visit. It was the discovery that the money she had saved up to treat her family was woefully inadequate to secure entry to the park that led to her ill temper and caused the physical confrontation. I would remind the jury that under the Treaty of Thorncliffe, all Sholey living on land are guaranteed reasonably priced access to some form of underwater recreation area. I would contend that quadrupling the cost of entry does not constitute a reasonable price. Mr. Ura spent some time telling you that his profit margin was getting slim, but the treaty does not say that the recreation should be profitable, only that it should be reasonably priced. Now, Mr. Ura, could you indicate which claw you lost in the unfortunate incident?" Across the courtroom, a bewildered-looking ceratinoid waved his right claw in the air. It was distinctly smaller and paler than his left. As you will notice, members of the jury, Mr. Ura has already started to regrow the missing limb. I would therefore suggest that since my client had no idea that Mr. Ura had just molted on the day in question, and therefore had no idea that his exoskeleton would be weak enough that slamming the park gate on it would separate his claw, the force used in her restorative crime was neither excessive or malicious. I would move that the whole case be dismissed on the grounds of the principle of nullum damnum nulla culpa, and with a further mitigation of id expectabat. Kern turned to address the jurors directly before continuing. "Members of the jury, I would ask to remind you that you are here as servants of the principle of justice and justice alone. The judge may instruct you, but he cannot order you. Once in the jury room, you, and you alone, can decide the outcome of this case. Examine your hearts. Examine your conscience. Then decide whether you can condemn a young mother for her frustration when her family's day at the water park was unexpectedly spoiled. The defence rests. And for those of you wondering, nullum damnum nulla culpa means no harm, no foul. And the further mitigation of id expectabat is he had it coming."
I love the use of good Latin. This is actually good Latin. Well done.
Wilf says he was channeling Runkle of the Bailey. I approve very much. I'm familiar with Runkle of the Bailey. Who is Canadian, incidentally. He practices Canadian law. Yeah, potato does always win. Being a potato is fine. Be semi-vegetative.
Yes, I mean, they had it coming. It was, well, it was as good as you're going to get it. I'm not going to start arguing about fourth declension.
It was as good as
Okay,
it needed to be for the story, and I liked it very,
I
very much.
if you want, I have a professor in hand. I can summon it, but really, why?
Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a poll.
Okay, what are we polling?
We are going to poll whether we think that the young mother should be acquitted or not.
I mean, wow, if
Should
he
the case
quadrupled the he
she
quadrupled
quadrupled?
the
Yeah.
quadrupled the price on what that is. Whew. As a parent with kids, that would have been I would have gone through slightly miffed to borderline heretical very quickly if someone quadrupled the price on me. I mean, does it deserve dismemberment? I have dismembered people for the crime of taking my chili dog.
All right, we're going to have 2 minutes to vote on the poll. There will be no additional votes. So there is our poll. Should the case be dismissed? Either yes, it was fair. No, what about the profits? Or 3, should it be a hung jury? And this will have to go around another time again. Thank you, Wilf. I'm glad you enjoyed the reading. Whilst that poll runs down, I'm thinking of doing. I hate my voice, but other people have told me my voice is fine. I'm thinking of doing a dramatic reading for a project that's finally not under NDA anymore, which is writing related. So hence bringing it up. I was very blessed earlier this year to be asked by my art mentor, who is a VTuber, if I would take her law notes and write her official law story to go with her VTuber persona. And I worked on that. It's about 36 pages long. And she revealed it at her Starfall Day, her birthday, yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. So that is now something that's out in the world and available for reading if people want to see it. It was very fun to work on because it was very different to what I normally do. It's a very sort of high fantasy, mythological fable, more like sort of writing something for similar universes to like the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic universe than the more deep and gritty stuff I normally handle. So it was a nice challenge to see if I could work in that style, and she really enjoyed it. And then that's out there in the world now, and I might do a dramatic reading of it for her to have on her channel.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was very much outside my usual wheelhouse, which is, a really good thing to do sometimes. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think anybody really likes their own voice, but I have a greater than average disdain for mine, unfortunately. I think it was part of the reason why I had to be bullied into streaming at the beginning of the year, because I was like, nobody wants to listen to me. I sound awful.
Well, confirmed your prior research was wrong.
Well, we are here 8
Pew,
months later, so... Okay,
pew,
our
pew.
poll has ended. Chat has decreed that the response was fair. Case dismissed. He had it coming. It is a fair legal argument in this case.
Il expabat. Il expabat.
Also, you're British, so therefore us Americans love it. I mean, yeah. Something bad taste.
I mean, well, yes, Americans. Um,
Another victory for the great orator Kern of the court. I would love to hear more about Kern's adventures, Wilf, if you want to. Distinctly evil is something that I'd be happy to go for. I would be fine if I sounded distinctly evil. I accidentally showed some work that I'm working on of Will earlier, and the person behind William Desir, the real voice, the real person, he has the world's most evil sounding laugh, and I'm so jealous. I am so jealous. He has the best laugh.
People
Great
were
English.
born
Where are you
blessed.
from? I'm very lucky that I do sound. I complain about my voice a lot, but I'm in some ways very fortunate. The area of England that I grew up in is Berkshire, and I was around the sort of Maidenhead area when I was young, living in a little village just outside of Maidenhead, and I spent a lot of time in Windsor and learnt that kind of English. However, by the time my sister came along a few years later and was going through her formative years, the wonderful phenomenon in Britain known as chav culture had started to develop. And if you listened to my sister and I talking, you wouldn't believe that we were sisters, because her accent is very different from mine. And it builds in some of those elements, let's put it that way. And yeah, we don't sound related.
What?
For anybody who doesn't know what a chav is, it was a cultural phenomenon that rose up and gained its name because chav is an acronym. It stands for Council, House and Violent, which means that, you know, you were on what would be over here in America Section 8 housing. So state paid for housing, and unfortunately quite a few people, a stereotype did grow up, especially around the area that I lived in once we moved to Bracknell, that people who lived in state funded housing quite often would get very drunk and very rowdy and very violent. So
Jollogs.
yes, so be glad you sound how you do. You could have ended up sounding like a 40k orc. Yes, I could have. Section 8 wannabe gang kids. Yeah, it's kind of that culture, and it was also built a lot around street racing with cars and how cheap certain alcohol is, and how relatively young compared to America you're allowed to start drinking over there, and it became its whole own little culture, and it's not one I've ever personally appreciated, we will put it that way, and I'm very glad I didn't end up picking up that accent myself.
See, it became an accent. Okay.
Yes, yeah, it did become an accent. It's where, you know how there's the current thing with British becoming British because they've dropped the T? That is a result of chav culture, where people don't pronounce their T's properly anymore. And it makes me very upset. Very, very upset.
It sends you from put off to straight to upset.
Yes. I mean, you'll know it's the end of the world if I tell you that I'm a little bit cross about it.
That's the point.
My sister says bothered, and it drives me up the wall. She even went through a phase when she was a young teenager, which I don't blame her for this. She was a young teenager. Everybody, when they're a young teenager, is an idiot. But she did go through the phase of, am I bothered? And I'm having PTSD flashbacks now. Thank you, Night Owl.
Where are the beagles?
Where are the beagles? They're in daycare. I don't get to see them till tonight.
Soon.
Yeah,
soon
you only know it from Catherine Tate. I never enjoyed her comedy. Never found her funny. Yeah, there was psychic damage. I have been wounded. I have been wounded on stream.
Roll your death saves, I think.
All right, so that is our chat submissions we've gone through. We've looked at a couple of write-ups. Do we want to dive into some of our cities and have a talk? That's the thing, all the tea goes in the cups. Yes, but you can also still pronounce it. You should have lots of tea in Britain. If I don't have my teas in the morning, whether it's in my conversation or in my teacup, I start trying to colonise things, and nobody wants that.
Yes, exactly. We'll take a cup of liberty.
Because we've got about half an hour or so before I'm expecting to slope off, because I do have a big drive this afternoon.
We can tackle a city, I think. One of them.
Yeah, let's go down to...
We can go and...
we did our founding cities last week, where we looked at standards of living and what we thought that would be like. So that means that we're now on to our unified cities. So these are going to be our cities that are going to be a bit less character-driven by the people living there being predominantly a certain species, because these are going to be cities that are very multicultural. So when we're thinking about these cities, we're not going to be thinking about, well, this needs to primarily cater to Laticals or primarily cater to Salassians or Cephalonids. A lot of these are going to have to cater to quite differing body types. So we will have to think about how we want to build that into what the standards of living look like and what we think the architecture would look like if we want to give some specific architectural notes on any of these. So the first one is Echo's Reach. And looking at the map, where is Echo's Reach? Where did we put that one?
Under the exoskeleton.
There we go. Yeah, Echo's Reach is in the Abyssal Crescent, so it's in one of the more dangerous areas of Shoal's oceans. We know
look,
there's
it's a
quite
rimward
a
hell.
there's quite a lot of Leviathan activity in this area. Hello, Rimwood. I do start asking if places have flags, and if they don't have a flag, I will happily give them one. If they do have a flag, I'll probably artistically critique it. I've been known to do that. You can't make tea with salt water, Lord Trower. Just not even trying. Dear oh dear. Right, Echo's Reach. Echo's Reach is a city built where few would dare anchor. Nestled into the clean and braced skeleton of a Leviathan, its bones repurposed into scaffold, tower and conduit. Its location just above the true abyss places it at the precipice of both opportunity and oblivion. The walls hum with old pressure. The dark beneath is never still. The city is structured in tiers along the spinal curve of the great beast, with outbuildings and piers stretched between ribcage arches like webbing strung across a wound. Each level is pressure fortified and insulated against psionic bleed, though not immune to it. In this place, the mind lingers longer than the body. Words spoken in passing may repeat hours or days later, echoing back with altered tone or meaning. Most residents carry dampeners, filters, or personal focus charms, not out of superstition, but necessity. This phenomenon gives Echo's Reach its name and its caution. It also gives it value. Deep within the city's inner shell are memory chambers, spaces where psionic echoes are gathered, studied, and in rare cases interpreted. Some echoes are remnants of speech. Others are not. The city's economy is a precarious braid of scavenging, artisanal trade, and mystic consultancy. Scavenger guilds operate from its lower gantries, organising forays into the trench below to retrieve rare abyssal metals, fallen coral fragments, or the remains of less fortunate expeditions. Some dive for science, others for salvage. Many do not return. Above them, artisans work in enclosed ateliers, crafting psionically reactive items, memory-imbued objects, and structural interfaces for outer colonies. Many of these crafts are rooted in scavenged material, giving the city a texture of reclaimed beauty. Stained bone, dented alloy, and fused coral all polished into new form. Governance in Echo's Reach is rotational and loose, more consortium than council, with influence distributed across the city's core guilds and spire holders. Every structure in the city bears resonant shielding, but none are sealed. The abyss cannot be shut out, only bargained with. Above all, Echo's Reach is a city that remembers. Not always accurately, not always kindly, but deeply. To live here is to live close to death, thought and pressure, and to listen for your own voice in the dark. So we will be wanting to add in a standards of living section. And we did also have some mentions here of some architectural elements. We talked about reclaimed beauty, stained bone, dented alloy, and fused coral, all polished into new form. So I'm thinking this should be the kind of city that's very irregular with its architecture, with no two buildings looking the same.
First of all, yes. One note.
Yes.
The slums are the graveyards. They're just known as the graveyards. Or the tombstones.
Where am I going to slide that in?
It's like in standards of living. If you're down on your luck and you find yourself in the echoes, you're going to sleep in the tombstone. Or in a graveyard near a tombstone. Like, this is just where you end up. It's not a good place to end up in.
Because it's going to have a lot of graveyards here with how dangerous this area is. So, yeah, okay. So, for those...
The city is halfway necropolis already.
Within this city, they often find themselves sleeping or residing within the vast networks of graveyards and tombstones that mark.
You can definitely call it necropolis.
The reaches, failed expeditions, and untimely ends. These areas are often less resonance shielded than other parts of the city, leading those on a downward spiral to often spiral faster over time and soon join the tombstones. Occupants they live among. Okay, let's see what chat has to say.
Enter Zyke. Zykes.
I'll just have a quick read down. Recommend a lot of art in it. Even the slums are artistic in their design, but they look very, very old. So yeah, everything being decorated does sound good. Living quality in Echo's Reach is how shielded your sleeping spot is. Yes, I think so. What they have above ground graves like New Orleans. We can think about above ground graves in terrestrial places, but unfortunately for our underwater cities, although there will be some verticality, it probably doesn't work quite the same way. Gallows humour tinges almost everything they say, and it's palpable when talking to people from elsewhere. I like that little cultural note, yes. Gallows humour is...
I like the idea that Gallows is actually a name of a place. Possibly a good place.
Yeah, I'm going to put that in inverted commas because we might need to think about what our term for gallows humour is going to be, because you can't hang people underwater. Doesn't work.
Sure. Of course you can.
Or, of course, you could have some other way of dealing with people, just throttling them underwater, and the structure you do it on is still called a gallows. So that could still work.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you stop a shark from swimming, or if you actually, never mind. I can get anatomical, but you can just kill the place. You can just call the place where you strangle people gallows. Your communal strangling post. Well, I'm sorry. Gallows humor.
Wait, Night Owl last week set us one task. Do not invent war crimes next stream. Not only did we decide to go and bully Suno again, but now we've invented strangling posts.
I'm sorry, strangling posts is just fuzzy gallows. It's not a war crime. It's not even fuzzy
Not
Prussian
tactics. Legally not a war crime.
No, it's just you need to kill people in a nice convenient spot. You don't want to kill them everywhere willy-nilly. That sends the wrong message. You need to go to your strangling post and then you strangle them to death.
I'm just waiting for the time to come where some of the more senior people in the Legion are like, so what is your stream about? And I have to try to explain to them that, well, we come up with these terrible things every week. Would you like to know about strangling posts or about, weaponized silence that kills people?
I mean, that's they would say yes and start giving you suggestions.
Yeah, they probably would join in.
It's the same people that play Delta Green.
Load says we should have the drying rack. Erica then says that with the drying rack, humour that comes from that could be called dry humour. I hate how good that is.
This is wonderful. Yes.
Let me go and put those on. I'm going to put them in the war crime section. I know it's not a war crime, but that's where it needs to be at the minute for...
yes.
Location. Where did I put war crimes? Where did we put war crimes? War crimes.
Right next to Zork.
Here we go. No, not
right next to Zork. You put it right next to Zork.
All right, let's go down here.
So he'll feel at home.
Drying. The drying rack is used for dealing with
Capital
prisoners.
punishment.
Prisoners under the sun. It's self-explanatory. From this piece of apparatus, dry humor now exists. It's like gallows humor, but also dry. And I hate how good this is. God damn it, chat. There we go.
Your hatred is noted. Your hatred is important to us. If you wish to share more of your hatred, our agents stand ready. At least 25 to 9 for your convenience.
Where did I put war crimes? Ah, there, war crimes o'clock. Yes. All right, so we've decided what the down and outs look like in Echo's Reach. What's the standard of living like for average people? What do average people get to enjoy?
Insulation. Good sound insulation. Psychic insulation.
Let's say the average citizen enjoys modest accommodations compared to some cities. But this is because having competent psionic insulation is the most important factor. Small but shielded houses allow the artistic among the populace to pursue their crafts with minimal interruption, while giving the more exploratory of the denizens somewhere they feel they can relax.
That brings me to the point that space is at a premium if you have to psionically insulate every inch of your
so for our
domicile.
affluent members of Echo's Reach are noted purely for having larger houses. Wealth goes into the ability to shield a larger quantity of space. Well, goes into the ability to shield a large quantity of space, so one may have plenty of room without worry. As a result of this, Echo's Reach does not have many Solatians among its upper classes, which artistic guilds are concerned stifles the full breadth of artistic integrity the city could otherwise offer. There we go. How does that sound?
One more addition.
What's that?
Echo has a single, name it, one. The sole place in Shoal where the silence is cultivated.
Okay.
In the silent park.
Okay. Let me move up, because I don't think that should go in standards of living. That needs to go up in the main body.
Because it's that one place where you want a place where you can lay certain particularly problematic echoes to rest.
Okay. Echo's Reach is also unique for housing a well-defended district within the thickest part of the Leviathan's skull to house a cultivated strain of silence. And we didn't spell it that way, we spelt it normal silence. There we go. This is used for artistic experience, but more importantly...
Corbin, you were not putting you to rest. You're not an echo.
For putting dangerous echoes and memories to rest. There we go.
Also, you're not dangerous.
Oh, Corbin's very dangerous.
Eh,
And I've been trying to put him down for years and he's still here. Still here. And I wouldn't have it. And yeah, there we go. Look, I've been trying to get you. The hierarchy won't let me die. And I keep trying. And one of these days I'll wind you up far enough you'll do the job. And you just don't. And God damn it, Corbin. God damn it, Corbin. And yes,
There is
I'm
some
not putting
family
you to
tension
rest on
there.
show. Oh yeah. Corbin's my favourite. He's my problem child.
okay.
Box Fox has
Fox,
just
yes.
spent goob to make me go and look at a thing. I am obligated to go and look at a thing. Let me go see.
Go look at the thing. I will entertain Corbin here.
Careful, he bites.
That's good.
Whereabouts did you pop it, Box Fox? Orcs memes. Orcs memes.
Oh, you had a job.
Yeah, his job is to drive me up the wall and make me go grey before my age, and he's very good at it.
Okay. I mean, it's an interesting job, but
Where
I guess it takes all sorts.
Looking? I must be in the wrong place because I am. Oh, although I'm looking at memes, these are not the correct memes. I don't think.
These are a different variety. Of
Oh no,
memes.
there it is.
I mean,
There it is. Oh no. Oh no, it's SpongeBob SquarePants. What did I do to deserve this?
we are on the water,
Are we dead?
I don't
and some
think so.
people can't resist.
Artificially
More of a
colored
calling,
rocks?
says Corbin. Yeah.
I mean, we're
If you're
No,
not careful, Corbin, I'll tell people just how many years you've been attending to that calling.
Yeah. What is this?
Is that a threat?
Yeah.
The place we never got.
Why is that a threat?
We've known each other for far longer than is probably sensible. I did skip to about 4 minutes in, and yes, we are mutually assured old. So I had a birthday. It wasn't this most recent birthday. I don't even think it was the one before. It was the one before that, and it was a significant number. A significant number that's larger than I would have liked. And all Corbin's happy birthday message to me was rather you than me. That was it. That was the only message I got from him all day. One of my best friends, ladies and gentlemen, whom I adore thoroughly.
Yes. Also, I happen to have an extra shovel in case we need it, and some bleach.
It's been tried. He keeps coming back. He just digs his way out. You did think of me, yes, and had a chuckle and sent it my way. You
That
ass.
is why. That's what the lie is for.
Oh dear, I have the bestest friends in the whole wide world, and people
So it
should
would
be
seem.
jealous.
Yes.
All right, I think we settled Echo's Reach then. Shall we move on to Marinport and see if we can get one more done before I have to clear off for the day?
I think that's a good idea.
All right then. Marinport, which, if I scroll back up and look at the map properly, is within the Serpent Strait, nestled in a little nook up against the northern continent. Marinport stands at the edge of two worlds, half city, half harbour, and fully committed to navigating the balance between commerce and knowledge. Originally established as a shallow water port, it grew upward and outward during the early years of unification, becoming one of the first cities to deliberately bridge land and sea not just physically, but administratively. The city is divided into two interlinked halves. The lower docks and reefside quarters, built into the tidal shelf and supported by underwater pillars and substructure arches, and the upper terraces, land-based districts built along the rising bluffs above the port, housing campuses, forums, and diplomatic archives. Trade runs deep through Marinport's foundation. Cargo lifts operate between the waterline and the rail-fed loading yards above, while underwater intake tunnels receive and sort bulk goods from deep haulers and Titan convoys. Beneath the docks, Salashian berths are carved directly into the submerged seawalls, Broad, open zones where shark folk mercenaries, escorts, and naval consultants berth between assignments. These chambers are stark but respected, maintained with pride and negotiated autonomy. Above the water, Merinport's educational districts sprawl across sun-warmed terraces, clustered around the first interspecies University of Shoal. Its halls host scholars from all across the moon, with zoning accommodations for aquatic, semi-aquatic, and land-based species. Debate is common, encouraged, and institutionalised. Argument is seen as a tool, and forums are open to all accredited voices. From marine navigation theory to coral compatibility studies, knowledge is the city's chief export and its pride. Yet Merinport does not restructure itself for every visitor. It extends bridges, but not foundations. Its model of outreach without compromise defines its policies. Zoning laws that preserve tidal flow, academic programs with mobile exchange satellites, and neutral grounds where no species can claim dominance. Cultural festivals are frequent here, often hosted in the wide surfside amphitheatres that rise with the tide. These events highlight both the intellectual diversity and operational clarity that Merinport insists upon. Visitors expecting warmth are often met with precision. Those expecting rigidity may find innovation. Merinport is not the most accessible city. It is not the oldest nor the grandest, but it is where worlds negotiate, where learning is put into practice, and where every visitor understands. Here, dialogue is not decoration, it is design. I feel like architecturally, Merinport might benefit from having rather regulated buildings, but that they've having like wide arches and open spaces so that you can see through them or past them, and having wide thoroughfares makes sense. That would be my personal feelings on architecture for this place. Let's see what's chat had to say.
I wanted to let chat have a go because they have thoughts, but they tend to ramble.
Right. Beware the breaches is going up in a minute. Oh, wonderful. I'll have a look in just a minute, Tired German. Merinport's architecture looks like Antoni Gaudi's work. Let me look that person up so I am accurate in what I'm imagining. Antoni Gaudi. Ah, Spanish architect. Yeah, those wavy lines and wide windows, wide arches. Yeah, I could see us using that for Merinport. Yeah. I really like that. I think that's a great idea. When I finally get around to writing up the Foresters, I'll have something to add to Merinport. It's probably their home base. That sounds great, Ed. I look forward to seeing that. All right, so we'll say that the architecture is very open and walkable, swimmable. I feel it will also have plenty of semi-private nooks for conversation where sound flows or doesn't flow depending on where you are. Yes, yeah, I think using Antoni Gaudi's work as a sort of base would be a really cool way of doing that. I
will say there's a lot of emphasis on design and intention. I think it's a very how do we put it architecturally? It has two faces. It has a very intentionally innovative, new forward thinking, external thinking construction. But it has a very dense underground core of hive, like even hexagonal system for storage, because management and the needs of running such a city are immense in bureaucracy. So you have the comforts of a wide open university-esque city with plenty of innovation and attention to arts and interpersonal capacity. But you also have the place where you have to, put all the bean counters.
Yeah.
And it's not the same place.
read this out in just a moment. Okay, so I've added in, Merenport's architecture in the upper levels is very curved, fluid and open. For Terrans, the feel of the city resembles the architectural work of Antoni Gaudi. Once one descends into the water and rock-carved buildings, however, a more regimented hexagonal style dominates for practical storage, reinforcement and efficiency.
Yeah.
Alright, let's talk about standards of living, and I will see what chat is saying. Let me have a look. Robo-Lictor graces us with his presence once more. Yes! I don't know why that happens. Clean academia and dirty Cargonia. I like that. And Cargonia is under Merenport. Oh no. Alright, what do we think for our standards of living? This is a very education and very cerebral city, so what do we think that would mean for our disadvantaged versus our affluent?
Well, those who are studying with the graces of status and whatnot, you know, they're there because they have money and they're there because it's the best fucking university available.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these guys are living above ground in large open dormitories where they can have their own room and all the amenities. What's that word?
Amenities.
All the amenities of a whatever you want. Essentially, there's a lot of services available to cater to everything you need, and it's all within swimming distance because it's very compact and all the good things are in a single place. If you're one of the have-nots and you're only there to study but not to party because you're a financed trust fund person, well, then you're crammed on a shelf with another 8 like-minded people who studied at a public university. It's because the economy of space is important. You don't have a lot of options.
That's fair. Give me just a minute and I'll write it up and then we'll carry on from there. Merenport's renowned universities dwell within spacious apartment buildings and standalone houses. These buildings take up much of the prime real estate and are within easy swimming distance of most amenities. The average student and professor, however, tend to dwell within housing in bands, bands, just outside of these ideal locations, often close to forums for discussion.
I mean, no one can complain about the view. Everybody can complain about the space, about space and privacy.
Yeah. One more rowdy bar district where discourse can get very loud and last well into the early hours. Disadvantaged residents of Merenport are often not part of the educational system at all, but rather those involved in the transport and delivery of trade goods and necessities these individuals often live in communal housing, often temporary stay below the waterline, or where the shipping lanes pass close overhead and may deny good sleep / rest. There we go. Let's see what chat is saying. Chat is saying Hail Cargonia. Correct.
Yes. Gun cargo.
Are air breathing, not ocean creatures, a thing? Creatures, yes. Sapient species, no. All of our sapients are amphibious, if not mostly underwater, but there are, in terms of, I think I know what you're referring to and what my write-up is, there are laticals who choose to be entirely land-dwelling and don't, swim the open ocean that much, and some of them might choose to study at Merinport. If it's an academic place, then it's probably well off since we've linked banking, libraries, and religion. Yeah, it's not going to be a poor town, but you're always going to have less affluent people because it's not always about how much money is flowing through an area that defines how society stratifies itself. It can get much more complicated than that. So I think having, still having areas where you're going to have those dispossessed, it's just a facet of civilization. It just happens.
You haven't found a place where it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Student housing, wealthy student housing, sunside and warehouses converted into apartments. Subside. Discourse can get very loud in some areas. Violence because academics will throw hands over the dumbest of things. Yes.
Anybody knows why Oxford? Anybody knows why Oxford exists?
Someone has to
If you
sweep the
don't-
floors, even in the richest towns. Yes.
Anybody who doesn't know why the University of Oxford exists needs to go and read about it because it's the silliest reason ever.
Yes. Yes.
But that's for some other time because
I love Oxford University, though. It's beautiful. If anybody's never been
It
there,
is.
the campus is just stunning. I in another life, it would be somewhere that I wish I could just go to study. Tired German has pinged me a thing before we go anywhere. Getting cattle across the river is hard. Getting cattle across rivers is always hard. Where have I
Getting
been?
cattle to go where you wanted to go is a job. This is why we have cowboys.
Oh, that's looking so good. Yes, save this. I will show people this.
I will show you. I've been coloring my.
Oh, you've been colouring too? Well, send me things. I will throw them into chat.
I
We
will.
don't
So
need that
I
open
will.
anymore. Let's remove that. Yes, go away. There we are. I need to add a image. There we go. This is going to be breaches. And I will want to be looking, yep, here, open, okay, and then I need to scale it so that you guys can actually see it. I'm hearing a dog yelling outside, and I keep wanting to yell at my dogs, and it's not them, because they're not here. There we go. Look how good that is!
I want to see.
Drop
I can't see it.
pirates. It should be up on stream.
I can. But it's not.
Huh, do you need to do a refresh? Because I can see it on stream.
I'm checking. Ooh, drop pirates.
Yes.
Very droppy. Much pirate.
That is basically a breaching suit for the squids. I love it.
One moment. It will put.
All right. Do we have any more things I need to show before we close stream today? Are you doing a thing? You doing a thing? Oh, exciting.
Give me 2 more.
Okay,
Give me
I can
2
do
more
that.
seconds.
I can do
Okay,
that.
thank you. Yay! Seconds. They are precious. I'm murdering all the colors. So 1 moment. I'm doing the murdering of the colors. Why? Because I can. There we go. Color murdered. If that color ever existed, it has been murdered. Mutilated even. Rendered from existence and found wanting and guilty. Come on. Just a few more seconds. Go. The Fescus needs the own.
Tired German
color.
is saying, I still need to figure out how to do the air bubbles in there with some good surface lighting effects in the back. You'll probably want a soft brush to tone the colours across it. A little bit of rim lighting, depending on how close to the surface you want this to be. You could have some like sharp lighting effects on the sides where the light is directly coming from, but it's looking so good. You have done fabulously with it.
Okay. I keep saying 1 moment.
Oh, BoxFox has redeemed name in game. As I say, once stream is over, I will get the character sheet notes put into the resource channel on the auxiliary. So if anybody wants to use the same document that we were using to create a character last week, it will be there. And, you know, create a character, submit it to me, and we'll go from there. Yes, you did break the redeem, Corbin. You're very good at breaking things. Very, very good at breaking things. But I'm very happy to have people redeeming names in game, and I will go and add.
So I sent you the. It's in the works, of course, but it's getting there.
Excellent. BoxFox. There we go. I've now got you added in too, so that we won't forget. Right, let's find Lictor's thing.
Yes.
Save.
And I will remind you, all this is all your fault.
Yes. How
You,
could
Chet.
chat?
It is you. You have made it happen. I will take absolutely zero.
There we go. That should have changed over, and we can put it next to the original line art, and you can see Lictor's progress. Look at that.
Yes.
Look at that. Isn't that looking amazing? I love the little pants pin. It makes me so happy.
Well.
We've had a water break redeemed. I will drink some water. I will hydrate so I don't dehydrate.
Yes. Do not.
Corbin says you have an axe in your golf bag.
Yes, Corbin. Yes. Go read about fascism.
No. Don't give him any new ideas. I have enough trouble with that one as it is.
If this is going to be a new idea, I recommend reading about the 30s last century.
Ah, yes, the 1030s, my favorite decade. Oh dear. New ideas. I mean, new ideas for Corbin, not new ideas for our species. Alrighty. It is coming up. Well, we are just over the hour. As and when Aiden and Mo appear, we have a drive ahead of us. So I'm going to go and get myself sorted and get out of here just a little bit earlier this week than we have done for the last two. Next week, I should have a proper desk and things should be nice and we should be back to being fully productive, and we will try and fill the entire time that we have until Striker takes over and do fun, wonderful things.
We're going to have some fun.
And Blackfire is sharing our little shoal crabs in chat. I'm very glad you guys like that little emote. Whom the fuck said I could have nice things? I did, Corbin. I know you often forget, but Boss do get to make that decision. Be safe on the trip. I would endeavour to be safe on the trip. I will also endeavour to take photos of the ridiculous drinks I'm hoping to have tonight, and I will share them with you guys over in the Orcs. Do come and find us in the Orcs chat with the Shoalnanigans. And if anybody wants to give me more cool things to read next week, I look forward to whatever you guys come up with, be it a court drama or new songs or war crimes or whatever we get.
And drink something silly for us.
Yes, I will take photos, and I promise not to drown in my drinks. I have people to pull me out. It's fine.
Put you in the drying rack later.
Yes. Oh God. I'm gonna end up with the world's driest sense of humor. All right, we're going away. Have a good one, everybody.